So we're doing this again. I know it's been a long time. I have been putting off getting back into YouTube again and again. Is that a cloud? Yeah, I've been putting off getting back into YouTube again and again, procrastinating, getting sidetracked with other things, but I'm finally recording something. Put off a bit too long. I've been putting it off for a bit too long, and it's about time. And so I'm doing another one of these one-way conversations. The last two were pretty negative, and I remember I even said in the last video that the next one would be about something happy, and that the next one would be coming soon. That video was about 6 months ago, so the next one did not come soon. But I'm here now, and today I'm going to talk about, I don't know if it's necessarily happy, but it's also not necessarily bad. I want to talk about forgiving people, and I know that's quite a wide term. I'm not about to sit here and talk to you about doing it because, to be a good person and stuff. Okay, I need to appreciate this view really quick. I'm not about to sit here and try to tell you that you must forgive people to just be a good person, and how it's like, I don't even know. I'm not about to sit here and tell you for moral reasons, even though those are also valid. I should just start I think I should just start by talking about someone I know. I'm not going to say how I know them. I'm not going to say in what way they're related to me. I'm not going to give any clues as to who this person is, just for privacy reasons. But basically, this person, from what I've heard, didn't have too great of an experience growing up with their parents and stuff. I don't know how much of it is true. I don't really know anything, to be honest. But it's an adult. It's an adult, and I think they're like in their 40s. And yeah, so they didn't have a great experience growing up. And this person, every single day, is always posting something about how unfair it is, how she has to deal with it, how they have to deal with the okay, you know what? How much they resent their parents for it all, and can I stop lagging in a single player world? Basically, they just are still stuck on what their parents did, and I'm not saying that it's right at all to not be good, to not treat your child well as a parent. But first of all, not all parents know that, obviously parenting is difficult, but even, some parents, what the hell am I getting the heads of things I kill? Parenting is difficult, obviously, but then some parents generally just probably shouldn't have had kids, but that's not, I'm not talking about parenting today. I'm talking about forgiving, and what she is, and this person is miserable, constantly. They are always trapped in their own ball of their own suffering and misery, and they just create an echo chamber of the horrible stuff, about how horrible their childhood was, when in reality, it would be so much easier for them. They would suffer so much less. It would just be so much better for them to just forgive. And actually, I don't even know, just to forget, to just not think about it anymore. It's freeing. It frees you to not hold a grudge. Resentment and grudges, they are never ever a positive thing. They've never given anyone happiness. They've never made anyone feel better. And all they do is the opposite. I'm going to loot this cave properly later. Sorry, I need to take this in. This game really is beautiful when you have the right stuff. But yeah, forgiving people is freeing. It is. It really is. And not doing it is just going to keep you in a constant echo chamber of being miserable, or not just, doesn't have to be that extreme, but it's going to keep you in an echo chamber of negative emotions. And I have my own experiences with this. Yeah. I don't know how comfortable I feel talking about this, and I don't know how comfortable this person feels talking about them. In fact, I might ask them for permission if I can post this, but I've had some. I didn't have the best experience at one point in my school. Okay, well, I love my school life now, but there was a time when my reputation at the school was not good at all, and this was mainly due to the fact that there was someone. Obviously, again, just gonna try to keep them as private as possible. That they basically. Do you know? I don't even want to talk about it. They basically spread rumors about me, and not some bad stuff. Like basically trying to make me come off like a creep, or they just didn't. They just spoke bad about me a lot, and it ended up in a lot of people, especially the girls, like just avoiding me and not liking me on principle. And that got. Luckily, I found solace in the amazing friend group that I had, and I still have today. And on those guys, I'll never ever be able to make it. I still don't know what I did to deserve those guys, but that's besides the point. Basically, it was not nice. It was not a fun experience. And this person, that was in grade 9. This person, they kind of stopped at the end of grade 10, and I'm now not at the end of grade 10, like near the middle of grade 10. It's now the middle of grade 11, and a few months ago, I got a message from them. I got a message from them randomly. I basically never had contact with this person. Why is that Enderman's eyes white? I basically never had any contact with this person until this point, and I basically got this long message that was an apology. It was, I could tell reading it. It was very heartfelt. I could tell reading it that they'd been thinking about this for a while, and basically it was like they just apologized for all of it, basically saying how they can't excuse their own actions, about how they were kind of insecure and that led to all that, and that how they've realized that I'm not as bad as they thought I was, and pretty much. And I kind of just thought, like, well, I didn't actually think, I never actually really considered not forgiving them, because I had always thought in the moment like that, I don't actually think this person's a bad person, because I'd known them before they did this, and I always thought they were nice. And I thought in that moment, I could either, well, I didn't, okay. That decision, I had two decisions there. I could not forgive her and hold a grudge, live in resentment of her, always have it be awkward, her presence be an awkward thing at school, and have pretty much an unnecessary kind of beef. Just create a bunch of unnecessary tension at school and stuff. And if I don't know if you realize, but nothing about that's positive emotion. Or I could forgive her. I would likely help her by doing that, make her happier, and help myself, because that wouldn't be an awkward thing anymore, and I wouldn't look back on all that with as much like negative emotions and resentment. And it's a no-brainer which one would be better for the both of us, which one would create more positive emotions. And I'm not talking about, like, of course it's a positive that I didn't create that extra stress for this person, but I also helped myself a lot by just forgiving them in that moment. And I'm now pretty good friend. I didn't mean to put a sapling in there. I would consider myself pretty good friends with this person, in fact. Can I stop lagging? It's a single player world. Jesus. I'm gonna die, aren't I? Dude, can my heart stop beating like this? Can you eat the food? I need to make a shield. I'm actually losing my mind. Anyways. I got sidetracked for a long time there. Basically, as I was saying, it's so freeing to forgive, and by not forgiving someone, you hold yourself in this this cage of resentment and like, I'm gonna, yo, I've got one more person to use an example here. I know someone, also I'm not going to say how they relate to. They're currently on their second marriage, which has been a thing for like 20 years now. So and they're still happily together. But this is their second marriage, and their first one did not end so well because this person was cheated on, and obviously that was that. And that was after they had been married for a while, so that it wasn't the best situation. And this person still said that that was the lowest time of their life, and the time where they were at their lowest point. They said that at some point they said to themselves that they could let this turn them into a miserable person. They would always be resentful, and always live in this chamber of, I keep saying chamber of resentment, it's a good way of putting it, and be this awful person for the rest of their life. Or they could, as much as it's, of course, I'm not saying you won't be hurt, it's gonna hurt, but people will do bad things to you, and I'm not saying that they're okay, but I'm saying that, and they didn't even necessarily forgive them. Well, they kind of did, but like, it's not like they were nice to them, saying that it's fine what they did, but they didn't resent them forever. They didn't, like, I don't know how to word it. I guess forgive and forget, kind of. Or not even, I'm wording this really badly. I don't think there has ever been an instance of someone benefiting from holding from holding a grudge for a long period of time. And I don't think there's ever been something of forgiving someone ending badly. And while that's probably not true, there's probably been times where someone did something really bad and someone quote unquote forgave them, but then also almost forgave the person too much and let them and put them in a position to do the same thing again, which that can end and hurt. You should be careful. I'm not saying you should just excuse everything and let people do the same thing over and over again, but I'm saying you shouldn't hold a grudge for a long period of time, if that makes sense. What on earth is that? I can't tell because it isn't right. I'm gonna have to explore it at some point. It's always worth it. It's always worth it to forgive. And that is something that I hope to stay true to myself throughout my whole life. Anyways, y'all. Anyways, you guys, this has been another video of me struggling to say my thoughts out loud and not actually saying anything important. And I'll probably do more soon. I like just rambling about my thoughts and plans, I guess, and just laugh. And I guess giving what could be called advice if you look at it a certain way, even though it's probably not the best idea to take advice from a 17-year-old, but I'm just talking. I'm saying my thoughts, you know? And I'll probably keep doing them. I enjoy doing them. They are, I guess, they feel fulfilling to talk about. It gives me, and I don't often get a chance to talk about this stuff, and I'm quite I guess, philosophical person, so I like having these, like, deep conversations, and I guess this kind of gives me a chance to just talk to no one in particular, but anyways, I just want to thank you guys for watching, and I guess I'll see you guys in the next one. I don't know when that's going to be based on my consistency and discipline, but anyways, I will see you guys next time. Goodbye.